of the voiceless Africa. Stories the world be overlooking. Truth seeking, hey, truth seeking, hey, the world be overlooking. Voice of the voiceless Africa. Voice of the voiceless Africa. Voice of the voiceless Africa.
Hi everyone, welcome back to VOVA, Voice of the Voiceless Africa. Our episode today is So Benin Almost Had the Coup. Today we're talking about something that shook West Africa for a minute. The attempted coup in the Republic of Benin. And yes, I know Benin isn't usually the country that comes up when we talk about coups. Mali, sure. Burkina Faso, definitely. Niger, unfortunately, yes. But Benin, not so much. But yet, on 7 December 2025, a group of soldiers woke up and chose chaos. They go on state TV, uniforms and all, and straight up announce that President Patrice Talon is out, and that the government is dissolved, and they, calling themselves the Military Committee for Refoundation, are now in charge. They even say they appointed Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tegri as the new guy in charge, like it's a done job. But what pushed them to this? Well, according to their own announcement, they were very angry. They were angry about the deteriorating security situation in northern Benin. They were angry about soldiers dying, and they were angry that, in their own words, the government wasn't honoring them or their sacrifices. And that is a complaint we've now heard in several West African coups. That is, when the army feels ignored, government suddenly look very removable. So in this case, the coup plotters thought they had succeeded. Then suddenly, everything falls apart for the coup, because almost as soon as the rebels declare victory, the loyalist forces push back. And by afternoon, the interior minister is now on video saying like, nope, the coup failed, and thanks for playing. He says institutions are intact and order is restored, and that's basically that. But here's where it gets even more and more intense. Nigeria rolls in. Not metaphorically, but literally. Fighter jets and troops cross over at Benin's request. The coup plotters lose key positions, and by nightfall, it's done, lights out. Arrests follow. Around 14 people reportedly have been arrested. Tigre's status remains fuzzy for a bit. It's messy, but the government is back in the driver's seat. But the big question is why and now? Because this isn't random. You don't risk your life overthrowing a government on a whim. Here are the pressure points people keep pointing to. Number 1, rising insecurity up north. Jihadist attacks have been creeping towards Benin for years. Soldiers have been killed. Families are angry. Troops feel exposed. That frustration, it brews silently until it didn't. Number 2, political tension ahead of the 2026 elections. Talon is stepping down, but his successor is basically pre-selected. Opposition candidates are being sidelined. The country's stable reputation, not as solid as it looked. For some folks, especially in the military, it felt like the system was moving on without them. Number 3, the region itself is contagious right now. Coup in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, all just next door. Once one army tries it and other thinks, well, maybe we could too. So why did this coup fail? A few reasons stand out. One, it was fast but not strategic. You can grab TV, but you need the military, airports, communication, and public opinion too. They add one piece of the puzzle and not the rest. Two, public support wasn't clear. This wasn't a popular uprising. This was a military frustration turned action, and the average person wasn't out cheering for it. And three, Nigeria's intervention tipped the scale immediately. Without that support, maybe this story is longer. But just don't argue the end conversations. What now? Benin has survived for now. Survived. But that does not mean the problem is solved. Because there are a lot of things to watch out for. And here's what to watch. Will the government fix the military complaints? Soldiers wanted recognition, support, and better resources. Because ignoring them again would be a mistake. Can the 2026 election be fair and inclusive? Because if people feel shut out politically, coups stop being unthinkable. Number 3. Does Nigeria's involvement set a new norm for regional intervention? Because this could go two ways. One, a strong ECOWAS that protects democracy, or a region where neighbors decide who stays in power. Benin has always been seen as stable, but this event puts a crack in that image. Not a collapse, but a warning light. My final thoughts on this are: the coup failed. Quickly, publicly, almost embarrassingly. But what triggered it has not disappeared. And if Benin doesn't address these tensions, this might be chapter 1, not the epilogue. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. If you enjoyed the breakdown, share it, save it, send it to someone who thinks Benin never has drama, and we'll keep an eye on what happens next. Thank you. Bye.
Voice of the voiceless Africa. Stories the world be overlooking. Truth seeking, truth seeking. The world be overlooking. Voice of the voiceless Africa.